All right. Think I'm live. Yes, I think I am for the most part. What's going on, everybody? Hope all is well. Y'all having a good day, doing whatever it is that you guys got going on. And let's see, I'm just kind of getting a few things in order. Let me see. Basically, usual fighting, not I'm about to say fighting game drama, but gaming industry drama. And much like I've always been saying, there are just far too many fools that, for all intents and purposes, they're just. I just feel like I want to explain just real quick, like why I feel the way I feel about the people that talk about my industry, and my industry being the gaming industry. It truly feels like there are too many people that have these massive platforms that really have no idea or very little idea as to what is going on. Very little. And it's it's apparent to me. So if you look at the thumbnail that I uploaded, there is a channel called Gamer Ranks, and truth be told, I wasn't going to go live today and speak about this. Or should I say, I wasn't gonna go live to talk about gaming industry shit. But when I saw that video, or should I say, rather I saw the thumbnail for it, and I left a comment on the video as well. It's like I have to say something about this. I have to say something about this. So in that video, the thumbnail is that Xbox Game Pass, what killed Xbox Game Pass, or some other nonsense. And I commented on the video and I said, this is some real clickbait bullshit. First off, Game Pass is not dead. Game Pass has not been killed off. Game Pass is still very much an integral part of Xbox. So when I see very large channels like Gamer Ranks with a fucking clickbait title saying, "Oh, well, Game Pass is dead," or whatever, it just goes to prove my point that many of these channels, all they do is spew lies and bullshit. That's all they do. And it's like, to people who may not know any better, it's like they will take that as the gospel. They will look and say, you know what? Wow, maybe Game Pass is doomed. And that's not just it. That's there's so many other things that is going on in my industry right now that you can easily make a full video about on its own. I mean, let's go on down the list, right? Let's go on down the list. Okay, you have Kratos being replaced by a fucking girl boss character. You have the Gears of War E-Day, which is Coalition's attempt to try to get the Gears of War franchise back on track after having a fucking girl boss in Kate Diaz. So that's number 2. Number 3, we just seen the release of Halo Campaign Evolve, which I did play for a bit. And they have another fucking girl boss in the early missions that nobody asks for, nobody gives two shits about. So that right there, that those are videos onto themselves. Then you hear the news that Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo, they are going to increase the pricing of their consoles. So then you have the story over there. Like, bro, there's so many things going on in my industry. And even though I'm not making countless videos about them, rest assured, like the eye of Sauron, I see everything. I see everything. The reason why I usually don't make a video on things is because number one, I've mentioned this to my channel members in a members only video, but suffice to say, I have over 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, and the vast majority of them either they don't turn on any of the notifications, and I have a bunch of dead subscribers on my channel, people who don't engage, don't do anything. So that weighs down all of my new uploads of my videos. So it's almost like, what's the fucking point? So I found a few workarounds, but it's sad that I actually have to go about that. That's the reason why I'm not like putting forth multiple videos like that. I've been mostly prioritizing my Twitch. Follow me over there, by the way, and I've been mostly just trying to do my content creation from a gameplay standpoint over there, and then I'll just export shit over to YouTube. And I have the goal of streaming every single day on Twitch for the month of August. You know, but the thing is, when you're a small content creator like myself, streamer, nobody really cares about what you have to say, and there are some advantages to that. There's some disadvantages, because you know you kind of have a very small subsect of people that might tune in, and they kind of feel like they're entitled, you know as a like for instance, I can watch viewers that's on a larger channel, and it's like the way the interactions are very different when it's to like a smaller channel. This is what I've noticed, and I can say and break down exactly what's been going on in my industry for years. How many times have I broken down why Sony is going to go all digital with their games? How many times have I broken this down? I've broken this down until I'm fucking blue in the face. But yet and still, I still see many people with their fake outrage talking about, oh, no disc, no buy. I'm not buying a PS6. Get the fuck out of here. You are going to buy a PlayStation 6. You are going to buy that new Xbox. You are going to do it. Stop the cap. Stop the bullshit. People with this fake fucking outrage, like they themselves were not largely responsible for Sony making that decision, because so many people across planet Earth have been buying shit digitally. That is not my opinion. That is a statistically proven fact. So if Sony looks at that and says, you know something, why are we spending all of these millions upon millions of dollars in distribution costs when we can just simply just forego all of that, keep our fucking money, and just go all digital? Why don't we just do that? How many times have I broken this down? I have broken this down intensively to the point where I'm literally blue in my face. But at the end of the day, you will see much larger channels. They'll whip up the controversy, they'll whip up the outrage, and it's totally for clicks and views, totally performative, totally clicks and views, all that shit. So when you have somebody like myself that has been learning, researching, and a part of this gaming industry for close to 25 years. I'm 45 years old, actually. And there isn't many people I have come across that can match my understanding and my knowledge of the gaming industry as to why multi-billion-dollar companies are making the decisions that they're making. There's very few people I have seen that can even come close to me. Most of the time, all I see is the typical tried and true bullshit. For instance, if I go back to the whole Game Pass thing, people were so up in arms over, oh my God, Game Pass Ultimate is $30. You know what? This is the funny thing about that. And I've spoken about this before as well. 30 a whole $30. Wow. You know what I'm willing to wager? I'm willing to wager that if I were to gain access to the vast majority of gamers, like their financial statements, I am pretty confident I will see hundreds upon hundreds of dollars every month and year on bullshit that they've fucking wasted money on. So when people were talking about this whole $30 Game Pass Ultimate thing, in my mind, I'm like, is this serious? Like, are people really out? Like, people literally lost their mind off of this. And what did the mainstream media do? What they ended up doing was simply this. They took the narrative, spun it, and the headlines were Microsoft is charging 50% more for Game Pass Ultimate. You know, the funny thing about that is when you understand language as I do, the way different words carry different emotional resonance. So when you say to somebody, you know what, I had to spend 50% more, that has higher emotional resonance than simply saying, oh, I had to spend 10 bucks more. It was just $10. They're both true. They're both accurate. They're both accurate. But when you hear the term of, oh, well, Game Pass Ultimate is 50% more, you're like, oh my God, 50%. It just, it's a joke. And then it's funny to me that every single one of those tiers, they had additional games. I believe Game Pass Ultimate, you have access to over 500 games. 500. Every single tier was every tier, their games was increased. And the only tier that had a price change was their highest tier. So who is telling these gamers you only have one option? This is why I say the majority of gamers, and it pains me to say this, they're not bright. They're not bright. They don't want to take responsibility for their financial decisions. They don't really know what they're talking about beyond swiping their debit card and mashing their buttons. They have no idea. So when you have someone like myself that chooses to speak about these things, what ends up happening is people like me, we get hated on. People like me, we don't have that type of viewership because people don't want the truth. They want the lies. They want bullshit. They want sensationalism, like that fucking video from Gameranks talking about Game Pass is dead or what killed Game Pass. They want that clickbait bullshit for the most part. Not everybody. Not everybody. There are some intelligent people out there, but there's a lot of dumb fucks in our society, unfortunately. And one of the negatives of social media is that now we have given a lot of dumb fucks voices that quite frankly they have no business having a voice. That's just what it is to me. That's just what it is. People don't want to accept the reality. They don't want to accept change. They don't look at the data. They want to exist in their own pocket reality. That's what most gamers want. If you ask the typical gamer about and I'll be bouncing around because there's so many fucking topics out there right now that it's next to impossible to stick to one. And this is just a random fucking live stream. I've just felt like just getting this shit off my chest like breast reduction. But it's just I just find it hilarious that you got these gamers that's coming out of the fucking woodwork like roaches from behind a wall complaining about my Sony. Oh well, they're gonna go digital by 2028, and I'm like, you are aware that going all digital was the plan, but ever since 2013. In fact, it's even before that, because during the years leading up to the PlayStation 4, because a lot of gamers don't know this shit. A lot of gamers don't know anything. So this is basically my time to just educate many people on what is versus what is not. When the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 was released in 2013, leading up to their development, which probably costs about maybe 3 or 4 years. So you want to go back to maybe 2009, 2008 when they were in the ideation period of what do we want our 8th generation console to be? Even as far as back then, both Microsoft and Sony, they foresaw an all digital era. The only fucking reason why digital was delayed was because Sony, the scummy company that they are, they wanted to one up Microsoft during that whole DRM bullshit. Which, if you have an issue with DRM, my suggestion to you, fellow gamer, blame the fucking PC master race, because we should already be well aware that the vast majority of issues that pertain to piracy and hacking all come from the PC side. So I'm not going to fault game developers looking to safeguard their fucking properties, their intellectual properties, by putting in measures, digital rights management, because the fucking PC master race can't help themselves by hacking shit, modding shit, turning some fucking a female character in a game, having her run around with her fucking tits out. So I don't blame these gaming companies for putting that shit out there. But the average gamer wants to, oh my god, the fucking game developers are all against us. This is, it just boggles my fucking mind how ignorant gamers are. It boggles my mind. I truly believe the vast majority of gamers out there, they believe they are the center of the fucking universe. If you want to, like, even to go on this other point, Xbox apparently is raising their console prices again. People are outraged over that. Every console is going to increase their prices. Because gamers typically don't know jack shit about business, to them, they look at it as Microsoft and Sony are these evil corporate companies and they just want to steal our money. That's literally what many of these gamers believe. And how do I know this? Just take a fucking trip through Twitter. It's not that hard. Go through Reddit. Read those comments from them dumb fucks. They have no idea what they're talking about. So I'm going to put it in a very simplistic way when speaking about the console price increases. This is going to be very easy to, even I think a 10-year-old, no, you know what? I think a 12-year-old would understand this. If you have a restaurant and you are serving a cheeseburger and French fries, and this order is costing $5. Okay. So it's $5 for a cheese, even though that doesn't exist nowhere anymore, but I'm just making this easy for people. You buy a cheeseburger and French fries for $5. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen when these companies say, you know what? We are going to charge the price of hamburger meat 200% year over year price increase. So what is that burger joint restaurant? What are they going to fucking do? This is probably the easiest aspect of economics. What do you think this restaurant is going to do? They are now having to buy hamburger meat upwards of 200% price increase year over year. Do you really think they're going to still be selling that same burger and fries for $5? This is why I say the vast majority of gamers I come across on social media are fucking dumb fucks. They don't know anything unless it involves swiping their debit card or mashing fucking buttons on a controller. This is proof positive. I have seen this for years. Years I've seen this. So at first, I didn't want to believe that the typical gamer was this ignorant. I refuse to believe, because in my mind, I'm like, if I can understand this, if I understand the basics of marketing, at least at that time, back when I was in my early 20s, I understood marketing. I understood advertising, public relations. I understood business management. I understood these concepts because I researched them. I was working positions that demanded such an experience. So I'm like, why do I hear so many people who just don't know anything? Like, this is simple business. If you are selling a product and one of the core components or ingredients that you need to create that whatever you're selling is now charging you 200 fucking %, it is impossible for you to sell that same product at the same price unless you want to go out of business. So it's like, it's almost like, it's like it's like almost arguing with another grown human being that 2 + 2 is 4. And they're telling you, no, it's not. It's 12. And you're like, wait a minute. Wait. What did you just say? You really believe 2 + 2 is 12? That is how I feel when I'm speaking to a lot of people in the gaming space. I would much rather, you know what I would much rather? I would much rather people take to my comment section, or if I happen to see something in my stream that is worth me responding to, I much rather have people that are curious and that want to have an understanding, pose questions. Don't dictate what you think something is when you have no fucking idea what you're talking about. You don't. I can literally read 1 or 2 people's comments on a particular topic, and I can tell very fast when a person doesn't get it versus somebody who understands, but they may just have it like they understand the premise, but they're not on the right side. So there's two different types. You have those that have no fucking idea what they're talking about, and you have those people that kind of get it, but they've been led astray. These are the people I typically deal with on a consistent basis. That kind of annoys me, especially when I see them in my comment section. And believe me, they're just, I don't even, I rarely even acknowledge these people anymore, because I've seen them in prior streams. They would literally go on a crusade in my stream or in my comment section, and they're trying to fucking, like, they're trying to make me believe in their pocket reality, despite what every fucking data analyst, every fucking statistical website has proven for years. But one lone person in the fucking stream or in the comment section wants to say they're all wrong, I'm right. So I'm like, you cannot be serious. You can't. You cannot. But this is what I deal with. And to be fair, I kind of signed up for it, because anytime you are a creator, anytime you are a streamer, you kind of open yourself up to be ridiculed, disrespected by people that would never say this shit to your face. Because I know for a fact, half the shit I've seen people put in the comment section or in my stream, if they were to stand in front of me with me being 6'5" and 230 plus pounds, I'm well aware that they would fucking turn the other direction. But of course, because it's online, everybody wants to fucking feel like they have a seat at the table. They're gonna say whatever bullshit they're gonna say. Believe me, it is what it is. And it gets mentally exhausting. So this is why I feel almost, I feel, I don't know if dejected is the right word. I don't know if it's distraught. I think I'm getting to a point where I'm getting indifferent. There's an old saying or an old expression where you can't save everyone. One of my favorites is, everything is not for everyone's understanding. That's real. You can literally break something down for somebody. You can break it down to where you now go in the what's the word people like to say? Condescending. You can put it in a condescending way, because quite frankly, maybe you have to dumb it down so much just so that some people can get it. But because, oh, you're being condescending. No, because you lack the intelligence to understand these general concepts and principles. So I have to now reword it and restructure it in a way that it is mentally digestible for your level of intellect. So now you are condescending. This is why I've always said that is a word for weak-minded people. I use that example of, if you're in a room of a group of people, and one lone individual walks in the room and says, attention, everybody in this room, everybody here is stupid. If you know within yourself that you are not stupid, then why are you allowing yourself, your emotions, to be swayed by some random person that just walked into a room that stated everybody in the room is stupid? But that's what a lot of low IQ people do. They will literally be like, oh, I'm not stupid. What is he talking about? They're literally unhinged. That person doesn't know you. So why are you feeling that way? It just, there are just so many different layers to this. I feel like if I were to tackle every single topic that is currently trending in the gaming industry, you know what would happen? Every single one of those videos I would make would barely have 100 views. It would cost me hours of my life to make. And I would still have people in my comment section that want to argue me, despite the fact that all I'm doing is I'm just sharing the facts. That's all I'm doing. That's all. That's all. So I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I will admit I'm an 80s kid. I'm not a fucking millennial. I'm from an era where we settle shit man to man, whether with fists or we have a serious conversation. That's the era I come from. That's the time I come from. So a lot of this internet culture, I get it, but it still is like what Mike Tyson said. A lot of times people say a bunch of shit because they know they won't have to get punched in the face because they're over the internet. But if they were in person, a lot of half the shit people won't even fucking say. Or if they do say, they will say in a very respectful manner. And that's the truth. That is the truth. This whole internet culture, this outrage, the clickbait, the fucking performative, all of this bullshit, it's beneath me. It's beneath me. I much rather deal with what is. And you know what is? AI, subscription services, digital games, and the cloud. As I've said many times, that is the future of the gaming industry. Whether you like it, hate it, quit gaming, it doesn't fucking matter. That is the truth. That is what is. How many subscription services are out there right now? How many? I can't even list them all. What do you got? Paramount, Disney, Amazon, Netflix, fucking Gamepass, PlayStation Plus, Adobe Suite, Microsoft 360. How many subscription base services exist out there right now that's making billions of dollars? And you know what subscription services do? They remove ownership. So it's funny to me whenever I hear people talk about, oh, they're just, we don't own anything. No shit. You haven't owned fucking anything since the fucking the advent of Netflix. You don't own shit. Deal with it. If you don't like it, stop playing. Stop participating. It really is that simple. It's that simple. And you know what? If you decide to say, you know what? I am no longer going to be a part of this. Bye. Don't let the door hit you on the ass, because these companies don't care about you. They don't give a fuck. For every one of you out there that will say, no disc, no buy, I don't have ownership, for every single one of you that's pumping your fist saying, I'm not with it, and this, that, and the other, there is fucking 100 of them out there that are saying, hey, we're with it. Here's our money. You don't matter. I I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's like, this is the cold, hard, harsh reality. These companies, they don't care about you, the individual. They don't care about you as the minority. I think I have said this in every live stream I think in the last 3 months at least. And the reason why I repeat it is because I'm not Joe Rogan. I'm not Asmongold. I'm not Penguin Zero. I'm not Main Man Swee. I'm not Maximilian Dude. I don't have that type of fucking viewership where the minute I go live, I have hundreds of people looming in my fucking chat, giving me super chats, and I haven't even said a word yet. I ain't got that. You know what I do have? I have more information than most. It's like I'm peanut butter with no jelly. You know, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. It's like I don't have the complete package. I have all the information. I just don't have the reach. Because I know 100% most of what I be speaking about should be on the front page of every fucking website out there. The vast majority of gamers, you guys have already spoken with your wallets. You guys, month after month, you guys buy your PlayStation Plus. You guys buy your Game Pass. You guys buy your Netflix, your Amazon Prime, your ESPN. All of you guys partake in the digital era. So when you buy Netflix, do you own anything on Netflix? When you buy Amazon Prime, do you own those movies? What happens when you don't make that payment to Amazon Prime? Those movies go bye-bye. This is the era in which we live in right now, whether you like it or not. That's it. At the end of the day, like I said, people don't want the truth. My channel is called Red Related. I could easily just call it truth related because all I fucking do on my channel is tell the fucking truth. What I don't know, I easily research and pull up the data as I have in prior live streams. The difference between me and many of your favorite content creators that I've seen, they will go and say, Sony is getting rid of digital games in 2028. Oh, the humanity. Oh my God, gamers are upset. Look what they're doing. How can they do this to us? You know what people like me do? I ask a question and say, why is Sony doing this? I mean, it's rhetorical. I know why they're doing it. Again, they would have done it back in fucking the PS4 era. They just now getting to it now. But I would look through the data and say, okay, show me the statistical data of gamers who have purchased physical discs over the last 10 years. Anybody can do it. Some of you trolls here in my stream, you guys can, instead of fucking doom scrolling TikTok all day, you guys can actually use the internet for its true purpose, and that's for information gathering. Why don't you do a general search and type in what is the statistical data of physical games sold versus digital over the last 10 years? Why don't you go and do that? And you let me know what the data shows. See, a lot of you people are lazy, shiftless. You don't take financial responsibility. You troll. You talk shit. You people do really nothing for the most part. I'm not gonna say everybody. A simple fucking internet search will go and prove everything I have been saying since I started this fucking YouTube channel. Every single thing. Why don't you look up the amount of money it costs both Sony and Microsoft to distribute games, physical games, across thousands of different stores across the country, across the world? What you think? You think Halo Campaign Evolve? Or you think thousands upon thousands of copies of video games just arrive on store shelves? What? Who do you think brings them? Santa Claus? What? You think that's free? Oh my god. Oh my goodness. These people. Like I said, it just boggles my mind that people seem to have this idea that shipping a video game is free. How does the game get to your store? How does a game get to Target, Walmart, Best Buy, the mom and pops? You think that's fucking free? What you think fucking Goku just warps it over there? It boggles my mind how stupid many typical gamers are. Many of you have no idea how this business works. You don't. You fucking don't. It just, it is so unbelievable. It just, you really, like, I think many of you gamers, you people really believe that when Santa Monica Studios wraps up on the development of God of War Ragnarok, you people believe that in order for Sony to get God of War Ragnarok in every Best Buy, every Walmart, every fucking store in your neighborhood, in the country, you actually think that shit is free. You think nobody is paying for this. These are the people that typically be in my streams and in my comment section. These are the people that want to argue. It's like, it's very hard to not be disrespectful to these people. It's difficult. It is. I will admit. It really is. You know when distribution becomes free? When it is 100% digital. Oh, that's right. Something that Sony is going to do come 2028. They have effectively or plan to cut out the middleman. I don't understand. There are far too few people that understand this premise. But the vast majority of gamers, they don't. That is the problem. And it is my belief, I can't prove this, but it's my belief that many of your favorite content creators that for some ungodly reason that have upwards of 100,000 plus subscribers out there, they are spewing bullshit, half truths, or just outright complete lies. So many of you that's in my comment section and in my streams that want to challenge me, you people are led astray by those content creators that you believe know what they're talking about. I've seen this time and time again. I see it all over Twitter. I see it all over Reddit. It's just, it's the stupidity is just unreal. It's unreal. So I just, and I think that's probably the reason why it's just so much easier for me to just go live. I don't have to worry about coming up with some crazy clickbaity title or thumbnail to basically break down what is the reality. What's the reality? See, the thing is, this is something I don't quite understand about streaming culture. Because there's a fool, and I don't know why this guy keeps showing up. There's a fool whose name is nothing but numbers, and this guy literally, I think he can't wait till I go live just so that he can just spew his bullshit in my streams, saying that I don't interact with chat. So let me see if I get this straight. I'm supposed to react to each and every single individual. So the minute somebody posts something, I have to react to that. So when am I going to speak about what I intended on speaking about on my fucking live stream? When does that happen? Because I can tell you this much, I've seen many streams that if you really want to be noticed, your ass will fucking super chat the shit if you feel it is that significant. That's what I see for the most part. And also when I glance over at the chat and I see individuals that want to try to say, "Oh, I'm complaining." How I'm not the one complaining. I'm not the one complaining about Sony going all digital. You people are. I wasn't the one complaining when Microsoft decided to charge a measly $10 extra for Game Pass Ultimate. You people complained about that, not me. All I did was gave the fucking facts behind the shit. The appropriate word is I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed. I shouldn't be, but I am. Because I like to think that people have higher levels of intelligence. But more often than not, I'm disappointed. I am disappointed that there are not more people that just simply cannot read in between the lines and understand what the fuck is really going on here. That's what it's just my disappointment. To the people that the very few people that actually get it, I kind of put them off to the side because I'm like, okay, they're like the safe group. They actually have a level of understanding. But many other people, it's like, I guess you can call them flat earthers. Like people who believe that like the earth is flat. Like those types of people, those dumb fucks. Like it just you can't. As stupid as this sounds, it's like somebody telling you water is not wet. It's like, it's just it's that stupid. As dumb as what I just said, that's how it sounds to me when I read a lot of people's comments and their stream chats. I'm like, how can you be this dumb? How that you I'm willing to give people the benefit of the doubt and just think that they're trolling, because people cannot be this stupid. They can't. But I don't know. I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. I don't know. The harsh reality, again, is that we live in a digital age. You can love it, you can hate it, you can give it up. It doesn't matter. That's the facts. What you people feel a multi-billion-dollar company should do, it's irrelevant. I feel Nintendo should have a completely different change of leadership. That's what I feel. I feel Nintendo, out of both Microsoft and Sony, are among the most scummiest of the three companies in existence. Nintendo has truly weaponized nostalgia. They do the bare fucking minimum. They charge an exorbitant amount of money for hardware that is barely the strength of a PlayStation 4 Pro. They pick on smaller developers. They fucking run them through all sorts of little litigation, Pal World. But yet and still, many of these people are still willing to fork over their money to Nintendo. So, how can I even respect or even acknowledge certain people's statements that are in full support of what Nintendo does as a company? This is why I say fuck Nintendo. No matter what my personal feelings are about Sony as a company, at the very least, when you buy a PlayStation console, you can rest assured that you at least got your fucking money's worth. When you spend your damn near $500 to buy a Nintendo Switch 2, of course, you have to waive your legal fucking rights to file a class action lawsuit against Nintendo in the event they fuck you over. We forget about that though. We swipe that, we sweep that on the rug though. We sweep that on the rug because Nintendo. It's Nintendo. We sweep that under the rug, though. Okay. So you want me to spend the damn near the same amount of money I bought my Xbox Series X for an inferior piece of hardware called the Nintendo Switch 2? Just so I can do what? Play what? So I can play Mario? What is he gonna do? He's gonna make pasta this time? What is Mario gonna do this time? What is Link? How is Link gonna fight against Ganon again? I've been there, done that back when I was fucking knee-high to a grasshopper. But that's what Nintendo does. They keep doing the same bullshit because they know dumb fuck Nintendo fans are gonna fucking bend over, spread their cheeks, and take it with no lube. Period. That's it. So, regardless of what my personal feelings are about Nintendo, from a business standpoint, hey, If a company can literally get you to spend $80 fucking to play fucking Mario Kart, then hey, hey, do you. Whatever. Like it just this shit is wild to me, bro. Like I said, like there are so many things that has been going on in my industry. It's just pick one. Pick one. Pick a topic. At the end of the day, the harsh reality is that gaming is now digital. That's it. That's it. So if you people, especially the few trolls that's in my stream chat right now, if you people are so like, you're anti-digital, anti-DRM, then you know what? Why don't you guys quit playing video games and find a new hobby? That's it. It's that simple. I will gladly be the heel, the villain that this industry fucking needs, because I think there are too many content creators I have seen in this space that are so full of fucking shit, reading from their goddamn teleprompter, having somebody script out their whole fucking video for them because they don't have a singular thought in their own mind that they can relay on camera, on live stream without reading from the dummy cards. These people are worthless to me. They are worthless. I will gladly be on my own little island with my little 20 views, maybe my fucking 5 viewed live streams. I will happily be there. Because at least I know that those few people that are there, they are there because they are tired of the same bullshit too. And maybe, just maybe, there might be maybe 1 or 2 of you in this stream that is tired of the bullshit and you want to hear what the reality is, even if that reality is not a good one. That's just it. Companies, they have a right to protect their intellectual property. All of these measures, digital rights management, if you break down the term DRM, digital rights management, if you break it down, the main reason why this even exists in the first place is because of your PC master race modding, hacking, pirating shit. Blame them. They've gotten away. You know, funny. Let me tell. I want to tell you people a very interesting story, real quick. Do any of you even understand why, when the Xbox One first came out, why did Microsoft, because this is part of an overarching point, but I know that many of you in this stream probably don't know your gaming history, so this needs to be said, because this laid the groundwork of what's happening today. Do you know why Microsoft decided to go full on with digital rights management for the Xbox One back in 2013? Do you know why they did that? Well, because I'm pretty sure the vast majority of you don't know. The main reason why Microsoft went this direction was because during the 7th generation, the Xbox 360 era, whereby Microsoft sold about 85.7 million Xbox 360s, give or take a million or two, as well as the OG Xbox in the 6th generation, you had people that were finding out ways on how to hack both consoles, and in fact they were called J-tagged Xboxes. You know how I know? Because I lived in an environment where I had people brought one over. There was a guy I knew that brought over an Xbox console, gutted it, put in some fucking software to read every fucking game for free, emulation, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And it went out of control. So in the 8th generation, when Microsoft decided on this, it got so bad. That is what forced Microsoft's hand. This all comes down to those fucks over on the PC side that just can't buy a fucking game and play it like the rest of us. They gotta fuck with the game. They gotta fucking hack the game. They gotta pirate the fucking game. They gotta torrent the game. At least back in my time, when torrenting was fucking huge back then. So what do you think these companies are supposed to do? So basically, I can buy a game, I can hack the fuck out of it, I can then fucking burn it to a fucking blank disc and fucking sell it to you for $5 or however much until I get tired of it. What is a company supposed to fucking do? What were they supposed to do? That is why you have DRM. That is why companies want to have a fucking a check on time to make sure that you fucking bought that game legitimately. That's why these companies do that. And you know what? I'm in full fucking support of it, because I'll be goddamned if I made some shit that cost millions of fucking dollars and hundreds of fucking hours of my life just to have some no count to society that's sitting in their fucking mom's basement on their fucking computer burning the fucking game fucking 20 million times over to sell the shit for $20. Full fucking profit. You bet your fucking ass I'm gonna put DRM on my shit. But it kind of goes back to this whole point that the typical gamer, you guys want something for nothing. That's really what it is. At the fucking heart of it, that's what it is. You guys don't want to keep it real. You guys don't want to be honest. You guys want something for fucking nothing. I guarantee if many of you in the stream, if many of you could literally find some alternative method to buy that fucking Grand Theft Auto, I guarantee you motherfuckers will. Guarantee it. It's scummy behavior, but it exists. It exists. This all started by people pirating shit. All of this shit. How many times I've been spoiled from some fuck on the internet that hacked the fucking game files, ruining fucking surprises, getting the game fucking early, ruining the experience for everybody. How many fucking times do we go through this shit every fucking year? Every fucking year we go through this shit. It's to the point where you have to literally stay offline. You have to stay off Twitter, off YouTube. Otherwise, you're gonna get fucking all of the aspects of a game is gonna be spoiled because some random dumb fuck that has a PC hacked the fucking game to oblivion. And now instead of fucking saying, you know what, fine, I did it for myself. No, I'm gonna ruin the experience for every fucking body. So fuck every one of them. And I'm glad these companies are putting in measures for that. I'm fucking glad. You go right on. Because I know for a fact, for me, I buy my games legitimately. I am a console Xbox player. I buy my games. I don't hack my games. I don't go through the fucking source code. I'm not trying to find out who's the next downloadable character. I'm not doing any of that shit. I am a legitimate consumer. But that's not good enough for the PC master race. They want to fuck shit up for everybody and then cry wolf when companies decide enough is enough and we are going to crack down on this shit. Oh my God, DRM, we're not gonna buy it. Well then fuck you then. You weren't gonna buy it any fucking way. The fuck out of here. You weren't gonna buy the shit no way. You were gonna try to find some fucking exploit to work around you actually buying the fucking game and supporting the fucking developer. That's the fucking truth. That is the heart of the goddamn matter. And that's why now that many of you motherfuckers out here are being found out, and some of your favorite fucking computer fucking providers that are doing shit under fucking handed, pirating shit, doing all kinds of underhanded bullshit, you guys are upset that fucking companies are deciding, you know something, enough is enough. We're losing fucking money. We're having to close our shit down because we're not making our sales. Because we got too many motherfuckers out there that's buying, that's not, what am I talking buying? That's hacking this shit. That's getting it for fucking free. So we are going to do what we gotta do to ensure that our IP is protected. It reflects the vision that we as the company set forth. Not having that bitch, that tall vampire bitch in Resident Evil 8 with the fucking 8-foot bitch. And now they got motherfuckers that's hacking her to where now the bitch is running around naked with big ass fucking Triple H fucking titties. Get the fuck out of here. Like, it's like fucking degenerate behavior. It's a fucking nothing but degenerates. That's what it is. So I'm sorry, you don't like it? Fuck you. That's what I gotta say. Real talk. You don't like it? Oh well. That's why they say the truth hurts. The truth hurts. People don't want to accept the reality of things. They want it's like they want the lie. They want the lie. Do you people even know that the only reason why GameStop even existed to this day is 100% because of Sony? Do you people even know this shit? Do you? In the 8th generation, Microsoft and Sony, the original plan was to go fully digital. That was the original plan. If you go back and instead of being on fucking TikTok all goddamn day, if you look up some articles from 2012 and 2013, you will see that the early articles back then, The articles pertaining to Microsoft and Sony's upcoming PS4 and Xbox One, that there was rumored that they were going to go all digital. Look at where GameStop's stock was. It's not that fucking hard. It wasn't until Sony backed out of those plans, then all of a sudden GameStop's stock skyrocketed. And the CEO of GameStop at that time contacted Sony directly, publicly, and thanked them. But do you people know this? You know it now, thanks to me. You're welcome. So that's why I find it so hilarious that all of these years later, Sony is now going to do what they originally intended to do with the PlayStation 4. So this is why none of this surprises me. When you are aware of the data, when you are aware of the amount of money that companies have been making from digital sales, subscription sales, you finally, it's almost like you're looking through, it's almost like you see the matrix. You finally understand how things work. You understand what things are versus what they are not. And what they are not is what you think they are. Because what they actually are is AI, cloud, subscription services, and digital media. That is your future. And I will say this until I am red, blue, green, and whatever color in my face. I will say this until my last breath. That is the reality. That it is what it is. So you people can accept that or not. Like I said, at the end of the day, you can bitch and complain about something, but unless you have millions of people backing you, nothing is going to change. Do you really think Sony is going to give two fucks about the 14 to 20% of the gaming population that still happens to buy physical fucking games? This physical Lords of the Fallen, Assassin's Creed Shadows. You think you think they're gonna fucking care about the fucking 14 to 20 some odd percent of people, which by rights is the minority? Do you really think they're gonna give two fucks about what you have to think? Do you really think? Really? You people really overestimate your importance. You really do. God bless you. I mean, hey. You people really you guys really overestimate your reach. You really do. Truly, it's cute. It's truly cute. Like, every single legitimate analysis website, every single data analyst on planet Earth is going to tell you the same goddamn thing. Physical is going by way of the dodo. The thing that's extinct, it's on its way out. It's on fucking life support. Digital is what is in. That's just what it is. It doesn't matter what little bullshit you gotta say. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't. It doesn't matter. So you have to ask yourself, what are you going to do in this digital age? Because that's what we're in. What are you going to do? Because pretty soon you ain't going to have these. I mean, well, I guess you'll probably find them at a mom and pop shop if you really want, but the future, nope. Done. And the funny thing about this actually is I actually told you people how you could avert this future. I told you. And for those of you that were hard of hearing, or maybe you didn't catch that stream, I'm going to do you people a solid and tell you exactly right now what you can do to safeguard your physical media. I want any one of you to clip this out right now if you so choose. I am going to give you the way forward. You ready? This is what you do, because you ain't gonna have no other content creator that's gonna tell you this fucking shit. All they're gonna do is tell you the usual, but then they're gonna tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you what you're gonna do. Get the clip button ready. If you want to save physical games, if you want to avert the subscription services, if you want to avert this digital age that we are going through, you have to do these 4 things. Number 1, if we are talking about PlayStation specifically, you have to cancel your PlayStation Plus membership. That's number 1. Number 2, you have to no longer buy anything digital from the PlayStation ecosystem. Number 3, take to your social media, create whatever message you need to, and tag Sony leadership stating that you are a firm believer of physical media, that you will no longer participate in digital anything on Sony's platform, and you have unsubscribed from PlayStation Plus. And until these situations have been resolved, you will no longer support Sony digitally. And that's 3. What was the 4th one? No more buying digital games, unsubscribing from PlayStation Plus, sending out a message to Sony directly. Oh, and just buying your games physically. That's it. If you people can do those 4 things and get millions of other people to get on board and do the same thing, like that thing with the Me Too movement, #MeToo. If you people can start that, that is the only way that you can avert what is coming. That's it. That's the truth. But you know what? You know what I like to do on my channel? I like to give the harsh reality. And the harsh reality is many of you will not make the sacrifice needed to bring about the change you want. That is a goddamn fact. Many of the people that are throwing their fists in the air, talking all of this shit, all of this stuff, many of you have Amazon Prime. Many of you have Netflix. Many of you have Adobe Premiere Suite. Many of you have Paramount Plus. Many of you have Game Pass. Many of you have PlayStation Plus. Many of you have the very thing you hate. Many of you are hypocrites. Like I said, I will happily be the villain if that's what it needs. If that's what this industry needs, I will happily be the fucking villain. Because I don't need to speak about this shit with kid gloves on. I don't give a shit. I am calling it what it is. This is the facts. Many gamers out there, they have spoken with their wallet for the last 10 years. They have bought that the Elder Scrolls horse armor. Oh yeah, I went back on that one. The very first microtransaction, yeah, the horse armor. I didn't buy that shit. I remember when I first saw that shit on my Xbox 360. I'm like, what the fuck is horse armor? It's like, what the fuck is this? I didn't buy that shit. But many of you did. And that gave rise to what? The almighty microtransaction business, which yields billions of dollars every single fucking year. Every year. So much like people bought that horse armor from Elder Scrolls Oblivion, much when people did that is the same people when Netflix first came out. Many of you jumped on that shit like a bitch in heat. Tell me why I'm telling lies. See, you don't like the truth. I'm here to give the truth. I'm here to give what is and not what is not. Many of you, when Netflix first came out, you jumped ship, and you participated in that Netflix thing. I know I did. My early history of Netflix, I remember when Netflix first came out, they had like some sort of a plan. Netflix had these plans where damn, what the fuck? They had these plans where they would also send you damn, why's fucking throat? They had these plans where they would send you DVDs. The plan that I had, I think it was, I had one DVD because I think they had like, I think they had like two, depending on the plan you chose. And they would send you a DVD of your choice, and you would hold on to it for a period of time, and then you would send it back. I remember the first movie I got was Blood In, Blood Out. It was an old prison movie, a cult classic even. I actually forgot to send it back, I'll admit. And so I think I have it to this day, I think. So, but I think eventually Netflix did away with it. Even with them having their very first original series called House of Cards with Kevin Spacey. So I was an early adopter to Netflix. Honestly, I was never somebody that went to Blockbuster. I went to Blockbuster every once in a blue moon. But I wasn't like an avid Blockbuster guy, but I knew many people that were. And so when Netflix came on the scene, you were essentially renting movies because you didn't own them from the service digitally. Those movies went away the minute you stopped paying the subscription. So people had no problem back then. They had no problem with losing ownership back then. So why is this so fucking different now? This is why I say people are full of fucking shit. They're full of shit. If it really was about ownership, then you know what? Services like Netflix would have came and would have died out within a few months. That's the facts. That's the reality. That is the cold, hard fucking truth. We've already seen what the vast majority of people think about ownership. And you know what? They don't give a fuck. They don't. They want convenience. They want access. They have spoken. They did it with Netflix. They did it with Hulu. They did it with Microsoft 360. You remember back in the day, I can remember when you were able to go out and buy Microsoft Word. You can buy Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint. I think they even had access at the Microsoft Access, which I don't even think people even use that anymore. And then Microsoft then came, because I remember I was working at Best Buy back in 2013, I believe. And I can remember I was like, well, what is this Microsoft 360 thing? Like, I didn't even know what the fuck the shit was. And it was a subscription service where you pay a monthly fee to get the Microsoft suite. Oh, actually, it wasn't even all of them. They had different tiers. I think they had one for students. They had one for the businesses. They had one for like the home. I think Microsoft Home. I remember all this shit. And you know, yet again, what did they do? These people that subscribed to those services, they gave up ownership for access. I can remember being in Best Buy and, you know, I would service people because I was working in the computer department. And I would make my laptop sales, and the customers would be like, well, does it come with Microsoft Word and whatnot? And I would like, well, you do have a month free or whatever the trial was of Microsoft 360. And after that, you know, you have to pay for it. I didn't realize it at the time, but that was basically ushering in a brand new reality. And that is the reality that the vast majority of the human race on planet Earth, they have decided by choice and consent that access, convenience, and download speeds matter far more than ownership. And the only ones that stayed the path are now representative of the minority. The same minority that multi-billion-dollar companies could give two shits about, because the vast majority has said, here's my money every single month. I know I don't own it. I'm leasing it, and I'm doing it with a smile. That is the reality. And for those few of you that choose to not participate in this, that's fine. You guys can do your own thing. Just know that you represent the minority that multi-billion-dollar companies don't care about. As long as you understand that reality, we have no issues. The problem comes in is you got people that represent that minority that actually feel like they're entitled. I've got news for you. You're not entitled. Your next door neighbor, your girlfriend, your boss, your coworker, your side piece, every single one of them, they participate in the ushering in this digital age. So while out of your group, out of your little group of your family, your friends, whoever the fuck knows who you are in this world, out of your little group, you are likely the only person that advocates for these. Everybody else, download. That's the reality. I didn't make the rules. I'm not saying I agree with it. It doesn't matter if I don't agree with it because that's just the fucking reality. That's the difference between myself and many other people. For instance, I am not a fan of AI. I'm not. Because artificial intelligence is the leading reason why my current Xbox 360, my current Xbox Series X cost $702.56. 6 years after it came out, when I paid $550 something for it 6 years ago. The very first time ever in the history of the gaming industry where consoles cost more money now than they did when they were at launch. AI is 100% the reason for this. Well, actually, I have to correct myself. It's actually a combination. It's AI, SSDs, and RAM. So if you factor in all three of those, that is the reason why current 9th generation consoles cost hundreds of dollars more now than when they did at launch. Now, I say all this to say that I am not a fan of artificial intelligence like that, because in fact, it actually brought about the ending of someone very close to me, of their tenure in a big tech company of 20 years, because their entire department was gutted and was converted into an AI department. So there's no love loss with me when it comes to AI. But unlike the rest of you, I am well aware that AI is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And it is not going away. It is what it is. So this is just one of those deals where either you're going to accept reality or don't. If you're going to be one of those people that are just going to stick to playing your old Nintendo games, your old Sega Genesis games, you have like this huge backlog of games, that's fine. Have fun. Do you. But make no mistake, unless there is a truly epic seismic shift in the way gamers or just overall consumers buy their merchandise, the future is set. And that future is subscription services, digital games, cloud functionality, and the almighty artificial intelligence. That is your future. Period. It is what it is. So I do appreciate those of you that are in this stream that are kind of like my regulars. I see you guys in the chat, and I appreciate you guys. To the trolls, to the fools out there, I really could care less about you people. So I really don't. So I'm just being honest. I think I speak about these matters so many times. It's almost like a broken record. You know, this is why if I ever go on a larger platform, um it's gonna have to be one that deals with gaming industry stuff. I've learned a lesson not to go on a fighting game community drama channel like I did a few weeks ago. Um, so to bullshit pointless channels like those, they serve no real fucking purpose. It's just brain rot content. I would need to go on a larger platform that has a mature audience, not somebody that's spamming Doria in my fucking chat for no fucking reason whatsoever. I need to be with more mature grown men and women that take this industry seriously, that want to see real change in the gaming industry. I need to be on platforms like those because I just don't see myself growing unless that happens. Unless I get lucky. I think I have far too many children as subscribers on my channel. They're like holdovers back from like the Tekken days when I played Tekken 8, that fucking trash ass game. And that's really all they know is how to mash buttons, and that's it. And that's fine, but when I'm speaking about things like these matters that actually matter, cuz I care about the direction of the gaming industry. I want the gaming industry to thrive. I don't want this to go down to hell. Uh so I tend to prefer engaging with mature adults, not a bunch of dumb fucks that they probably don't even know how to balance their own finances. So that's just where I'm at with on that front. When I look at the agendas that's going on in my industry, when you look at the girl boss characters and all that stuff, and like you can throw a stone in any direction and you're going to land on some kind of ridiculous thing, whatever agenda that's on going currently. Like it's impossible to stand in any direction and aim at anything without hitting some random controversy. It's impossible. There are too many crazy things that's going on in my industry right now, and it's just sad. I'm looking at the ruination of just certain video game IPs. I'm looking at what's happening with God of War. I looked at what's going on with Gears of War. Like, it just, it's a shame. It really is a shame. It makes me shake my head. You have characters, for instance, I've been playing the latest Halo campaign Evolve. I've been streaming it on my Twitch here and there. That's primarily where I've been on, like, playing my video games, is on Twitch. Follow me over on my Twitch, by the way. It's the same name as my channel, Red Re1ated. And it's just much easier for me to just go live over there and just do what I need to do, and and then just kind of export shit to YouTube. But anyway, I'll get into that later. But suffice to say, I'm well aware of all the controversies surrounding Halo Campaign Evolved. I'm well aware of all of it. I've played the game so far. Right now, I think I'm up to the Silent Cartographer stage. Even though I might replay it because I didn't like how the stream ended up. It's still live on my, like, well, you have to be subscribed to see my VODs, but it's, I did decent. But I know I could do better. But I'm well aware that there is a lot of things that people who are OG Halo fans, which I am not. I'm not an OG Halo. I'm not a Halo nerd like that. But I'm well aware of the significance and the cultural icon that Halo used to be. When I saw this bull dyke looking lesbian chick that's in the 3 missions, the prequel missions of the game, the first thing I said to myself was, why did they put this bull dyke lesbian in this game? What is her purpose? And I honestly could not find any meaningful answer. I couldn't. So then, looking at a few different channels, because a lot of people was commenting on this, saying that this particular character in the Halo game, and saying, oh, well, this character is canon, or something like that. The character was in the books and all sort of shit. My response to that is, I don't give a fuck if this dyke looking girl boss lesbian is in 100 books. When it comes to the games of Halo, Halo does not benefit in any shape, form, or fashion having an insufferable character like her in the game. If you want her to be in the books, keep that dyke in the books. Period. That's it. In fact, you know what I would like to see? You know what I would like? And I don't know this, but maybe I can research this. Since this bull dyke character or whatever is in the books, then I would like somebody to tell me with actual facts, how well did that book sell? How well did that book sell? You know what it reminds me of? Oh, what's up, Flame? Nah, man, you got to do what you got to do, man. I'm just carrying on this stream right quick, but I appreciate you over on the Twitch side. I appreciate that. I'll be doing more gaming over there soon. But yeah, so when they came out with the movie called, I think what was it? Captain Marvel, right? That movie was an absolute flop. The movie flopped. Let's just call it what it was. Nobody cared about the character. Nobody damn sure cared about Brie Larson. But you know why they decided to go and waste an entire Marvel budget on that pointless story? Because apparently, based on what I understood, is that Captain Marvel was a comic book feature. And what I later found out is that the Captain Marvel comics didn't move the needle whatsoever. It was one of the lowest selling comic books, period. People in the comic book realm, and I don't really follow comic books, but I at least know this part. People that are diehard comic book readers, they could give two fucks about Captain Marvel. But yet and still, Marvel Studios, the MCU, decided it was worth it to bring a character that the vast majority of the comic book fucking world didn't care about. And what ended up happening? Captain Marvel came out. It bombed at the box office. And that's it. So that's why when I go back to this whole Halo situation, you have this fucking this bull dyke looking lesbian chick that nobody fucking asked for. When you go and play Halo Combat Evolved, you are a genetically modified super soldier. You are humanity's last hope. The whole premise of Halo is rooted in military and religious ideologies. That's it. Somehow along the way, once the dreaded 343 Studios took over that IP, much like how, ironically, much like how the Coalition took over for Gears of War, if you notice, all of the games from both those franchises were absolute shit compared to its originals. You ain't got to believe me. You don't have to agree with me. The statistics is all I care about, and that's what's on my side. When I look at Gears of War, for instance, because this all correlates. Gears of War, God of War, Halo, Dragon Age, all of these franchises have been ruined, basically. They've all been fucking ruined. Girl boss, DEI, mental illness, LGBTQIXYZ, the mental illness, gender, all of that fuckery has now infiltrated various gaming IPs and has destroyed them. The Dragon Age franchise, for those of you who are unaware, one of the greatest role-playing game franchises in our generation, lies in ruin because a goddamn tranny decided it was best to have fucking body mutilation and talk about I'm non-binary. So Dragon Age lies in ruin. Okay, that's number one. Number two, we take a remake or remaster, whatever what you want to put it, of Halo, the game that basically put Xbox on the map. You redo the game. The game looks great. But one of the main selling points of the game is that it has brand new missions, prequel missions. But you couldn't help yourself by adding a bull dyke looking lesbian fucking character that nobody gives two flying fucks about that has the unmitigated gall to shit on Master Chief in his own fucking franchise. Are you serious? Everybody in that studio, everyone that is at the executive level branch that greenlit the inclusion of that bull dyke looking lesbian chick in Halo Campaign Evolves prequel missions, every single one of them should be instantaneously fired. That's number 2. Number 3, Santa Monica Studios. Oh, I'm looking at you. You have a franchise in God of War that has been in existence for 20 fucking years with Kratos as your main protagonist. You decided to now create another fucking game called God of War, but no Kratos to speak of. We are now using his dead fucking wife. What? But then again, when you look at who is directly creating and developing the game, you will get your answers. Just look, who is the creative director of this game? Every single person that is over there at Santa Monica Studios should be fired. Now, to be clear, I am all for female empowerment, female lead characters. I'm all for it. I don't care. It's whatever to me. But when you take a franchise that has been in existence for 20 fucking years, and now you decide to put some fucking chick this is like somebody telling me 2 + 2 is 20. It just does, it makes no sense. The only time this works is when you have a franchise, like say Ghosts of, when you have the Ghosts of franchise, Ghosts of Tsushima, Ghosts of Yote. The franchise is Ghosts of. So the third game will be Ghosts of some other region with a brand new character, brand new story. That's how that works. Namco Bandai does the same thing with a JRPG franchise called The Tales of. The Tales of Legendia, Tales of Symphonia, Tales of Vesperia, Tales of Berseria, whatever the fuck that one is called. Those types of franchises, you can get away with having different types of protagonists, both in story type and in gender. You can get away with that. That's fine. But when you have a franchise that has been around for 2 decades, if you wanted a female-led game and you are Santa Monica Studios and maybe you're just getting creatively bored with the God of War Kratos story, then you know what? If you're not going to pass it down to his fucking son, then just make a brand new IP. It ain't like you don't have the money to do so. But they know if they were to fucking do that, the shit would flop. That's the reason why they're using the God of War title to try to use it as a Trojan horse to get people to buy in to this Laufey fucking soccer mom that nobody really gives two fucks about playing as. Let's keep it fucking real. So you know what? Since we're going to go that direction, you know what I want to see next? This is what I want to see next. I want to see the next Tomb Raider game. I want to see Larry Croft. I want to see Lara Croft completely removed out of her own fucking franchise, and I want Larry Croft, her long lost fucking brother that we had no idea she even had in the 20 fucking years she's been the protagonist of that franchise. That's what the fuck I want to see. Oh, and better yet, let's talk about movies, shall we? You know what I want to see? I want to see Pedro Pascal as Malcolm X. If you're going to go fucking retard, you might as well go full retard. Now, how about this? How about this? How about we have Denzel Washington? Denzel fucking Training Day. Denzel Washington play Genghis Khan. How about that shit? That'd be godlike. Actually, no, you know what? How about this? Since we want to be inclusive, since we want to be all inclusive, how about this? How about this, chat? How about in the next Wonder Woman movie, we cast Ben Affleck as Wonder Woman? How about that? How about we just cast Ben Affleck or Matt Damon as the next Wonder Woman? How about that? You see how stupid this is? Because it is. How about we go a step further? Let's go to Nintendo. Why don't we see the next Metroid game? You get rid of Samus Aran, and put in motherfucking some random dude. And at the end, yeah, how about we do that? See, what I've noticed is when people like myself, when people like me call this shit out, I'm ridiculed, I'm trolled, I'm unsubscribed. You name it, it happens to me. But yet and still, this is exactly what's happening. You come out with a movie called The Odyssey. Why in the fuck is Travis Scott in that movie? Why in the fuck is the black chick Lupita Nyong'o? Why the fuck is she Helen of Troy? What? So you know what they should have fucking did? You know what they should have fucking did, chat? Just recently, they had a Comic-Con. For those of you who, maybe some of you seen it. They did Comic-Con not too long ago. And they showed the next Black Panther. They showed the next Black Panther, right? Is some black dude, which is fine. But you know what I would have loved to have fucking seen? I would have loved, I would have laughed my fucking ass off if when they introduce, when Ryan, for those who don't know, Ryan Coogler, he's the guy he's the director of Black Panther. I would have laughed my fucking ass off if Ryan Coogler went on stage at that Comic-Con that happened not too long ago and announced the new actor that's portraying T'Challa, Black Panther, and motherfucking Ryan Reynolds comes on. The Mint Mobile Deadpool actor Ryan Reynolds comes on stage as being the new Black Panther. I would have laughed my collective ass off. Oh my God. But yet and still, we're going to take a fucking a very old Greek tale in the Odyssey and putting a bunch of fucking like it just, I don't even want to call it lazy writing, because it really has nothing to do with the writing. It has everything to do with the casting. The writing is entirely different. It's the casting. This guy, Christopher Nolan, what he wanted to be controversial. That's what it was. These people choose controversy over community. I have seen it in movies. I've seen it in TV shows. I've damn sure seen it in video games. It never fails. They will gender swap you. They will race swap you in a heartbeat. But they will only do it from certain perspectives. Like I said, I'm still waiting for fucking Denzel Washington to be playing Genghis Khan and motherfucking Ben Affleck to be casted in the next Malcolm X movie. Because hey, like I said, if you want to go retard, you might as well go full retard. If you want to be inclusive and all sort of bullshit, then go be full inclusive. Let's do it. Let's see it. Let's fucking see it. So a lot of these fucking grifting YouTubers can fucking make their entire YouTube fucking salary making 20 million videos about it, and I can laugh my collective ass off watching them. I'd love it. I'm waiting for it. In fact, if I was Joe Rogan, if I had a massive audience, which I will never have a large audience on YouTube or Twitch, because quite frankly, I refuse to shill. I refuse to do this bullshit. So I guess I'm going to be a very tiny person for the rest of my content creation, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I just have to accept this. So I would love for a larger channel like Joe Rogan to come out and go viral and say, you know what I would like to see, since everybody is talking all about DEI and being inclusive and not being offensive and all this stuff. I want to see Ben Affleck as the new Malcolm X. I want to see Denzel Washington play Genghis Khan, and I want to see Harriet Tubman being played by Morgan Freeman. That's what I want to fucking see. I want to see dumb shit now. That's what I want to see. I want to look at shit, point and laugh and say, ha ha, like that fucking guy from The Simpsons. You know that guy that says, ha ha? That's what I want to fucking do. I want to look at some stupid shit. Because stupid shit seems to be what is proliferating my fucking media and my goddamn games these days. That's what I'm seeing. Day in and day out. Nelson, yes, thank you, that guy. I want to see that. I want to see it. I'm waiting for it. Like, how do you come with the idea, the notion that you're going to have a fucking mentally disturbed tranny play Achilles? Then I guess the backlash was even too much for them to handle. Then that person's part got changed to some other obscure warrior that was in the book. I don't even know what the fucking name was. But still, I don't know why the fuck Travis Scott is in the movie. I have no fucking idea. The only thing, I am not even familiar with this guy's music. I'm pretty sure it's absolute shit anyway. The thing that I most know about Travis Scott is him completely ruining a recent WrestleMania that happened where he fucking gave Cody Rhodes a black eye in real life because he didn't know what the fuck he was doing in the ring. That's all I really knew of Travis Scott, to be perfectly honest. I'm not familiar with his shit music career. I can care less. So why in the fuck is this guy in a movie that's based off of Greeks? Why the fuck is Lupita, the black chick, why is she in a movie that's based on Greeks? What the fuck? So anyway, like I say, man, to bring this back full circle, this just kind of goes in line with what I opened this whole tirade up about when it came to God of War and Gears of War. And you're casting people in positions that have no purpose being there. In Gears of War, nobody wanted a girl boss character. Nobody. In God of War, nobody wanted to do anything but control Kratos. And for those dumb fucks out there that want to say, well, what about Atreus? Atreus is his fucking son. If you are going to do anything in this regard, you pass it down from father to son. If you really wanted a girl lead in Gears of War, then you know what the Coalition should have just fucking did? Have Marcus Phoenix Child as a daughter, not a fucking son. That's it. That way, if you wanted to go and turn Gears of War into this fucking estrogen-filled woman game, then I guess, yeah, there you go. Is it not a wonder, a surprise? Let me pull something up real quick, because I feel like just putting this out there. Let me show this real quick. So you see this game right here? I want to know if you guys can see this game that's on the screen right now. This game right here that you're seeing on your screen is I think it's good. I think it's on the screen right now. The only reason why this game exists, the only reason, is because Gears of War 5, it did not do the business that the Coalition expected it to do. That is the only reason why you have this game right here. That's it. Is it? For now, I am not a Gears of War sweat. I think that's what you young people call it. I'm not an expert level Gears player. But I am well aware of the story of this franchise, and I know two pivotal moments happened prior to Gears 1 back in 2006. And that is the Pendulum Wars and E-Day. At any point in time, the Coalition could have created E-Day and or the Pendulum Wars the minute the Coalition took over the development rights from Epic Games. But instead, they came out with Gears of War 4. Now, when I look at Gears of War 4, let me look at this gear. Let's look at Gears of War 4, right? Let's look at Gears 4. Gears of War. This game right here. You know the funny thing about this game? If you look really close, I don't know if I can even get it, but if you look really close, if you look at this picture, or maybe just focus on, maybe you can, I don't know, let me see. I don't think I can zoom in on it any better, but if you look at the actual cover art of the game, front and center, that is J.D. Phoenix, Marcus Phoenix's son. He is displayed prominently in the middle of the game art. And who the fuck is that over on the left side of the photo? Do you guys know who that character is on the left side of J.D. Phoenix? That character is the true main protagonist of this new franchise. Of this trilogy, sorry. Kate Diaz. Now, I will go and say that I don't have a problem with the Kate Diaz character. I don't. And in fact, this might come as a surprise to some of you. Kate Diaz is the main protagonist of the new Gears of War trilogy. I don't have a problem with the character. I don't have a problem with the way she looks. I think she's a good-looking character. I think her voice actress does a good job. She's well animated. I give the character all of the props in the world. The problem here is that this game, Gears of War 4, just from an actual actually, let me move my my webcam. I think my webcam might be in the way. Hold on. Let me move it over there. Yeah. So this is what you call a bait and switch. You are led to believe that the main character is J.D. Phoenix. Hence, he is featured prominently in the middle of the game. But the main character is Kate Diaz. She is the one that basically moves the story forward. She's the one that's the more serious of the group. She's the one that is basically having her own little story developing along the way. Now, if we go to Gears of War 5, where is it? Let me type in. You're going to notice who is on the cover of Gears 5. Oh, look. This bitch. Front and fucking center. My, what a difference one game makes. So we went from telling a story of Marcus Phoenix's son, JD, where the trilogy should have been passed on to him. It should be his story. But instead, we were bait and switched in Gears 4, and now we're being forced into giving two fucks about this character in Gears 5. And you know what happened in the Gears community? This game did not do the business that the coalition was hoping it would. And as a result, instead of moving forward with Gears of War 6 to close out their trilogy, we instead are now being treated to Gears of War E-Day. Tell me when I am telling lies. Because I can tell you this much beyond a shadow of a doubt. If Gears 5 broke records, like serious records, from a sales standpoint, I can guarantee you, you would not have this game. At least not yet. The game we would be talking about right now would be the conclusion of the trilogy in Gears 6. That is 100 billion% facts. There is no other explanation for this. This is the coalition's way to try to curry favor amongst the Gears of War community, because they know damn well that the way Gears of War 6 is going to end, it's going to completely piss off the entire Gears community. Because I'm going to give you spoilers right now. Gears of War 6 is going to result in the death of Marcus Phoenix at the hands of Kate Diaz as she is transitioning to being the Locust Queen, and while Marcus Phoenix is lying dying in front of his son, while Marcus Phoenix is dying at the feet of JD Phoenix, and JD is coming to the realization that Kate Diaz has foregone her humanity and is now becoming the new Locust Queen. That is what's going to prompt JD killing Kate Diaz. So now Kate Diaz is dead. Marcus Phoenix is dead. The Gears franchise is up in the fucking wind. That is the ending of Gears of War 6. So, because the writers, now you want to talk about lazy writing, this is it. So, because the writers literally have written themselves into a fucking dead end, they're like, you know what? Before we bring out this inevitable train wreck, let's just see if we can get as much money as we can to tell this particular story with the two characters that people give a fuck about. That is the only reason why this game even exists. Period. That's what it is. At the end of the day. Yep. It is what it is. People may not want to, they may not want to admit it, but at the end of the day, that's what it is. And that's it. So I just feel like it's a shame. It really is. When you have this is why I say I don't have a problem with the Kate Diaz character. I don't. I think she is one of the better developed female characters. I do believe that. But the way she is positioned in Gears of War as a franchise, I feel that if they really wanted to do it this way, what you should have done from a writing standpoint is oh, what's up, Mike? Anyway, let me just take a moment to like acknowledge some of you guys, Hyper Stark, David White, David Wright, Mike, all you guys. Salute to y'all. Um what I would have liked to have seen with Gears of War, and believe me, I'm gonna be playing the game. I'm gonna be playing the game. In fact, I have every intention on streaming, but of course I I really well, I mean, I've talked about it with my members, but I really want to try to stream every day on Twitch, and I want to try to build that. And anyway, I'll get into that because it's a whole different discussion. But because I mean, you have the game Beast of what's it called? Beast of Reincarnation. I want to play that or whatever. So but anyway, the just to kind of put this out there, again, I don't have a problem with the Kate Diaz character, but the way I believe they should have done this is that the franchise should have focused more on JD Phoenix, because he represents the son of Marcus. We all know, much like Kratos, Marcus Phoenix is what moved this franchise. This is not up for debate. So now, much like Kratos has Atreus, right? Marcus has JD Phoenix. The franchise should have been passed on to his son. Yes, Hyperstark. That's the plan when it comes to Twitch. But let me. I want to finish my point here on this. So, the way I would, this is how I would have wrote the Kate Diaz character. I would have given Kate Diaz her own squad. I would have given Kate Diaz. You remember how when you played the original Gears of War, I think people forget. And it's fine because it's an older game. People forget that Marcus was on an entirely different team. Marcus was with Lieutenant Kim, the guy that got gutted by General Ram, right? He got fucking skewered. And Dominic, right? Dom Santiago. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the guy that always gets killed in the, I forgot what his fucking name is. Carmine or something like that. So that was the team. That was the I think they were Alpha Squad, if I'm not mistaken. I think they were a different name. And then it wasn't until after when Colonel Hoffman, and he's like, Hoffman, shit, and then I want you to give me 110%, Phoenix. Marcus now ends up becoming part of a different team. That's where he becomes part of I think Delta Squad, I think. And then you had Baird and Coltrane. They were from a different team and they were added to Marcus. So I can understand how some people forget those finer details. So what I would have liked to have seen is Kate Diaz simply be a part of her, like she would have her own team of people. And so that way it's like you have Marcus, JD Phoenix, and Dell, and maybe a fourth person, maybe. And then every now and then along the way, they'd encounter Kate Diaz's team and she'd have her team. I feel like that would have went over a lot better. But to have her in the same squad, and it's like now you make JD kind of like this love interest to Kate, because obviously they have something going on. So it's almost like he's almost a bit subservient to Kate Diaz. If you really pay attention to the franchise, to Gears 4, he's trying to stay on her good side, you know, like a good little simp, you know what I'm saying? Trying not to ruffle feathers with her, you know what I mean? And the story started to become more and more surrounding her. That's why I say that Gears 4 is really like a bait and switch. Because if you were to judge the game based solely on the fucking cover of the game, and understanding that this guy that's set front and center is the son of the main character that brought this franchise to where it is, Marcus Phoenix, you're thinking, oh, okay, well, this is Marcus Phoenix passing the baton, passing the torch. Nope. It's all about Kate Diaz. So while I don't mind her as a character, because it kind of puts me in a very odd position, because I don't have a problem with her as a character, but her role in the story, I feel, does more harm than good. Because eventually this became the Kate Diaz show. And that is, I believe, what a lot of people who have been following Gears of War, I believe they are seeing this. And this is why Gears 5 partly didn't do as well as they had hoped. Now, of course, you can talk about the multiplayer. I'm not talking about that because I'm not very good at that side of the game. I'm speaking strictly from a story element. So that's why it doesn't surprise me why we have Gears of War E-Day coming out, which looks absolutely phenomenal, by the way. And I really do believe I am correct in my assumption that Gears of War 6 is going to end with the death of Marcus Phoenix being killed by Kate Diaz as she fully transitions into being the new Locust Queen, and Marcus Phoenix's son, JD, is now forced to kill her. You know what this kind of reminds me of? If you've watched that X-Men movie where Jean Grey turned into the Phoenix and Wolverine was like the only one that could stop her, and she says, "Would you die for them?" And he says, "For them? No. For you? Yes." And she's like, "Kill me," and he ends up fucking killing Jean Grey. That's kind of, in a roundabout way, how I see Gears of War 6 is going to end. Because we all know JD Phoenix loves Kate Diaz. We all fucking know this. But seeing her kill Marcus Phoenix, that is going to be the only thing that's going to get JD to do what he needs to do. And that is how the Gears of War franchise is going to end. And I can guarantee you the backlash is going to be otherworldly. I guarantee that. I fucking guarantee it. Now, maybe the fucking beta male cucks and the DEI, maybe they'll love it. But the real Gears of War fans, they are going to hate how this shit is going to end. They're going to hate it. I fucking know it. And based on the direction that they have been going with the writing, they've literally written themselves into they wrote themselves into a corner. They can't get out. They've positioned the Kate Diaz character so prominently, and for her to be such a focal point character, that basically JD Phoenix is now a fucking side guest character in what should be his franchise. It's fucking wild. And I see something very similar going on with God of War, where you have the fucking Laufey chick. Now, much like the Gears of War situation, I'm well aware who Laufey is. I'm well aware, as somebody who loves Greek mythology, loves Norse mythology, I eat all of that shit up. I know who these characters are in the mythos of mythology. I am well fucking aware. But in the game of God of War, this is a 20-year franchise of Kratos, and there is no data available, no data that even hints that the gaming population is tired of Kratos. So there is no need to do such a pivot. But they're doing it because they want to push the girl boss. That is why this is happening. This has nothing to do with whether or not the game would actually be good. Because honestly, when I look at the God of War, or should I say Wife of War, let's just put it that way. You know, when you look at Wife of War, I'm just when I looked at it, there are worse games that I've seen. Sure, there are some like odd looking animations, but those can be ironed out. When they showed the actual trailer, a lot of people had, you know, their takes. They didn't like what they saw, whatever. But the game, quite frankly, has a lot of time to kind of, you know, come together and whatever. So I'm not saying that God of War Laufey cannot be a good game. I'm not saying that. In fact, if I were to throw in another game, let me show you guys this game. Here's something else that's really, really fun. Let me show you this. You guys remember this one? Let's look at this one. Remember this game? What happened with this game is slightly similar. If you look at the art of the game, what does the art of the game indicate to you? If you look at the box art of this game, you would not be wrong, or I wouldn't criticize you if you looked at Ninja Gaiden 4 and if you look at the image, I would not find fault if you actually believed that Ryu Hayabusa was going to be the star of this game. And the guy that's in, like, shown in a very smaller context, if he's like the side character. But in this game, it's completely the opposite way. The opposite. You know what I'm saying. The other way around. Why do you think they did that with this game? Now I'm going to get back to God of War, but I need to divert. I need to take a detour here just for people to understand the similar context here. Do you really think that this game would have been accepted more if the positioning of the imagery was reversed? Meaning, if Yakumo took up 50% of the image and Ryu Hayabusa was in Yakumo's position, I can guarantee you right off the bat, from a marketing standpoint, many people would not even buy this game if that was the imagery. because I can tell you that many people did buy the game because Ryu Hayabusa was featured more prominently than the Yakumo character. Even though, contrary to what people thought, Yakumo is actually the main character of this game. Now, that's not to say that Ninja Gaiden 4 is a bad game. I actually think it's a really good game if you take it for what it is. If you play this game from the stance of an action hack and slash high octane ninja like shinobi game, this is a very good game. It's challenging, it's fun, it's graphically impressive. I can't say enough good things about the game. But the fact of the matter is this: Ryu Hayabusa is not the main character of this story. And that alone turned off a lot of people to this game. So now, when I go back and speak about God of War Lao Fei, it's like the same thing. God of War Lao Fei could very well be a very good action game. It could. It could be a very good game. But the fact that it is Kratos is not the main character, that is going to put people off. That is not my opinion. That is a fact. It's already happened already with what I just shown with Ninja Gaiden 4. I remember when Ninja Gaiden 4 was coming out, there were people in my comment section of one of the videos I'd done for the game, which completely surprised me, because back then, unless I was talking about the brain rot that is called Tekken 8, it was rare for any of my videos to go above 1,000 views. My initial Ninja Gaiden 4 video broke 2,000 plus views. I was elated, I was happy, but I was also mind fucked. I was not expecting that. But many people in those comments, and even when I look at other people, many people, they didn't like how the Yakumo was the main character. They didn't like it. There were people that decided to not invest into Ninja Gaiden 4 solely because Ryu Hayabusa was not the main character. That's an absolute fact. That is why Ninja Gaiden 4 did not do the type of sales that it likely should have. And I have a feeling that same situation is going to happen with God of War Lao Fei. I have a feeling. The vast majority of the gaming population, they don't give a fuck about Faye. They don't care. She was basically a character that was forced onto people in the original God of War 2018. Nobody cared about her. I'll tell you who people did care about: Freya. Freya was a character that was extremely well written. She was powerful. She had great abilities. She had an amazing backstory. And if nothing else, I would have loved to have seen a game with Kratos and Freya together and showing and highlighting their dynamic between each other. That's what I would have liked to have seen. I can give two fucks about the Faye character. The bitch was already dead at the beginning of the goddamn game. Nobody cared. Well, maybe out of 10 people, maybe 2 people cared. Let's just put it that way. But across, if you were to take a poll of gamers around the fucking world, would you have rather play as Kratos or Faye? I hate to be the bearer of bad news for the two of you out there that like this Faye character, but you will have an overwhelmingly amount of people that would have said Kratos. And I have a feeling, and it would not surprise me, that the God of War Laufey game, much like Ninja Gaiden 4, could be a very solid game. It could look graphically amazing. It can have great characters. Well, not that fucking cube character, but maybe everybody else. But the fact that you are not really leading Kratos is going to turn off a lot of people. And what potential success that that game could have had, it would be very limited. So I have no doubt that God of War Laufey, or Wife of War, is gonna do well. It's gonna sell. People are gonna buy it. But would it come close to the amount of sales and success if this was just another Kratos-based game? I think if they went with Kratos, it would have done more. It would have done better. And I believe the same for Ninja Gaiden 4 as well. If Ninja Gaiden 4 featured Yakumo, or at least if you want to do it like from a story standpoint, if you want to do it like maybe 60-40, where it's like, okay, we want to establish this new character, Yakumo. He's from a rival ninja group. I think it's the Raven Ninja, the Raven Shinobi clan. So if we want to kind of like push that into the future, okay, that's fine. Because I can see the potential. I like Yakumo as a character. He's a bit emo, but I think he's a solid character. I could definitely see that character making a possible appearance for the upcoming Dead or Alive 7 game. I could definitely see that, depending on how the licensing works. I could definitely see possibly maybe more games featuring Yakumo, maybe. So I can see a future there. However, as it pertains to Ninja Gaiden 4 directly, the fact that it was revealed that the main driver of the story is not Ryu Hayabusa, that affected the sales of Ninja Gaiden 4. 100%. This is a fact. And again, to double back to Wife of War, Wife of War can be a really good game. It could. Santa Monica Studios, they do great work. They're not an amateur when it comes to game development. However, people want Kratos. That's just it. This is what happens when you have an established franchise that has been around for 20 fucking years. You cannot sideline the main protagonist and expect there to be no fucking consequence or controversy. This is absurd on every fucking level. But yet and still, these developers, like I say, many of these guys are activists that are posing as game developers. That is the fact. Why the fuck do you think, going back to the whole Halo argument I posed maybe an hour ago, that you have this fucking bull dyke lesbian chick in part of the fucking early missions of this game? Like, come on. Like, if you were to have taken out the lesbian chick from this campaign Evolve, from the early missions, if you were to take that chick out, and if this game released as it was, because I do feel graphically it does look very good. I enjoy it. You know, maybe a hardcore OG Halo guy will probably nitpick on certain things, and that's fine. I can understand that, because, you know, if we're talking about certain things like Mass Effect, Dragon Age, I can nitpick also. So I understand that perspective. So I pretty much approach Halo from a casual standpoint. I don't profess to know the lore 100% versus somebody that eats, sleeps, shits Halo. I know what I know, and I know what I don't. I'm not gonna lie and bullshit nobody. But based on what I've played so far, the gameplay is pretty good. It looks great. I've had no performance issues with the game. The game never crashed, so I enjoy the game itself for what it is. However, seeing that fucking that girl boss lesbian bull dyke in the game in the early missions, and it's only 3 missions. It's only 3 missions, and to think that was one of the main selling points, if you think about it, outside of the graphical enhancements, and also the third person view, which I really do enjoy. I think they did a very good job on that. But outside of that, you only got 3 prequel missions. Now, I don't know, because I haven't played them yet. I don't know if the bull dyke, if she's in each of the missions, or maybe she's only in one. I don't know. I haven't played them yet. But regardless, the amount of backlash that I have seen about this game when it comes to that character, that just proves this was not the right course of action. She was not a net positive to this game. What they should have done is, if they even needed to delay this game, add in a viable multiplayer. If they would have done that, can you imagine? They have this game. It looks great. I also like the remix factor, because I've seen other people, they will do what is it? Apparently you could remix certain stages where you have different enemies that'll pop in. I think that's a pretty cool thing. It's well known that Halo is one of the more challenging games, especially on Legendary. So you already have a lot of replayability for people trying to conquer those higher difficulties. You have the game that it looks great. You have weapons that were not in the original Combat Evolved. For instance, you can sprint, you can aim down the sights. So there are different quality of life that was added to this game, which is good. And then, as I alluded to, you also have the ability to remix, I think, enemy types, maybe even positions, for all I know. I think they call it campaign remix. I think that also adds in extra playability or replayability. You can also have 4 people, or 3 people play with you. So there's quite a few things that is going right for this game. But there are also certain things that did not go right. Why they did not add a multiplayer for this game is criminal. It's criminal. If they needed to delay this game to have it release with everything it has along with multiplayer, I think this, and without that fucking dyke fucking character, that lesbian character in the early missions, this game would have been so much better received. It would have. It definitely would have. Sure, there are some things I've seen a few things where I can remember playing the original Halo and even the Master Chief Collection, where if you're in a vehicle and you swap positions, you literally see Master Chief have an entire animation of him getting out the vehicle, changing positions, and whatever. But in this game, it's like he does like a Goku instant transmission. And I've seen some people literally exploit it by if you're in the Warthog, for instance, I haven't tried it myself, but I might. But I've seen videos of people. They would literally, they'll drive it and they'll position it in front of an enemy, and they'll use the gun on or the gun on the back of the Warthog, and they're firing, and then once enemy fire is coming to that position, the player will literally warp back to the driver's seat, and once enemy fire starts to locate Master Chief, they warp back into the gunner turret. It looks actually ridiculous. I don't know how they fucking overlook that. I don't. But that's one of those smaller, because it is a small thing. But it is one of those things, when you see it, you can't unsee it. Let's just put it that way. And so yeah. So I don't know, man. I think Halo Campaign Evolved so far, I've played, as you could say, I've played about 3 hours. Well, basically I played about 4 hours of the game so far. I've gotten to Silent Cartographer so far. I've been streaming it on my Twitch. But there's a couple of things I want to do. I probably will replay the game, just because, it was my first time playing Halo since the Master Chief Collection, honestly. So it's been a number of years. And so I might want to do a better playthrough, and also change my OBS settings for Twitch, because I think graphically I could probably have my OBS display my stream a little bit better. Because for those that don't know, Twitch, you have a little bit more constraints on Twitch than you do YouTube when it comes to your bit rate, and plus I have a not so powerful laptop, so there's a lot of factors involved on that. So I just try to do the best I can. But yeah, I think my overall general impression with Halo Campaign Evolved so far is that I like it so far. I think it does a lot of good things right. I think there are some nagging issues that I would like to see removed, patched out of the game. I definitely feel that they should add a fucking multiplayer component to this game. Like, absolutely. I think if they were to do that on the multiplayer front, I have a feeling that a lot of the grifter YouTubers, they're gonna probably bitch and complain just the same. They're gonna say, oh well, now Halo, Halo Studios are now just coming out with the multiplayer. Bro, at this point, I don't give a fuck. As long as they do it, and as long as it's serviceable, like it's not broken on launch, if they do it, any real Halo fan will just shut up and enjoy it. But of course, the grifter YouTubers are going to talk shit, be like, oh, well, look, it took them forever. Like, I don't care. Just be fucking happy they even did it, if they do it. If they do it. Because ideally, I would have liked for them to have released it all in one package, multiplayer, the campaign remix, the graphical enhancements, the new skull alterations, the gameplay alterations, minus the fucking bull dyke lesbian chick in the prequel missions, all of that in one tidy package. And I think it would have more replayability or more concurrent viewing on Steam. And I believe it would give a clear, defining, I guess, desire for them to do maybe Halo 2 Campaign Evolved, or whatever they want to call it, a Halo 3 maybe. And then while they're doing that, they can have another team focusing on the next mainline entry of Halo. That's what I think Asha Sharma, CEO of CEO of Xbox, I think that should be one of her priorities, is to, have them work on the multiplayer for Halo Campaign Evolve, get that out, make sure it's servicing well. Now, I don't know if you would have it as a free thing or something you pay for. I have a feeling that if you have to pay for it, people are going to be fucking pissed off. I have a feeling if they bring it out anyway, people are going to talk shit. So it's going to be a damned if you do, damned if you don't. But the real Halo people, they're going to enjoy it just the same. Everybody's going to be live streaming it at the end of the day. So it is what it is. You know, so that's kind of like what I feel of that. But then again, when I look at what they did with Halo Infinite's multiplayer is free. So if they could do it with Halo Infinite, and that's a much more, I would say, from a gameplay standpoint, a much more advanced game than this, I feel like they could go and create that aspect, you know, but it depends if they feel that people would actually play, you know, because with it being a mode onto itself, a free multiplayer download with Halo Infinite, perhaps maybe the active concurrent player list of that multiplayer mode probably didn't it didn't have the type of numbers that, you know, made 343 Studios say, you know what, this is something that we should stick with. So I don't know. So that's really like my general thoughts of Halo Campaign Evolve right now as it stands. Of course, I'll probably have more thoughts on it after I beat the game and deal with the 3 prequel missions, but for right now, that's all I have to say about that one. And let me see. What time is it right now? It's 10. Oh, it's like about 11 o'clock, huh? That's crazy. So yeah, I think I still have this game I haven't streamed yet. Let me see what people are saying about this game so far. Let me see what the... Oh, wow. Okay, this guy says game of the year. Laggy. Okay. Game, music, game frequent tasks, make something new. Okay. Not ready. Okay, stutters. Okay. So it's a mix. So I'm likely gonna be streaming this. I don't know if I'm gonna be streaming it tonight. Because I do wanna I have a couple of errands I have to run tomorrow, kind of early. So I don't know. If I do anything, it'll likely just to be to test my stream. Because another thing what I've been doing, for the few of you that's here, if you can permit me, is I'm trying to grow on Twitch. The general gist of my plan is essentially this. I have over 2,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and many of them are not active subscribers. They don't really like my videos, they don't comment, they don't share, they don't do anything, most of them. I have a very small percentage of subscribers that even have, I don't even think people are even turn the notification bell thing on, because that's something I kind of forget to ask people to do. I just felt like people do it regardless, but I guess not. So a lot of times I will post a video and some of my subscribers won't even know I did a video because they're not being notified. And those that do see it, they're not really engaging with my content. So basically, when you post a new video, YouTube tests that video against your already, your subscriber base before they start to commit to showing it to brand new people on YouTube that never heard of you before. So if your video fails that initial subscriber tests, YouTube is likely going to stop pushing your video very, very quickly. So what I've been doing is I've been creating more member-centric videos for my channel members, which basically you can be a channel member for as low as $2, which is not going to hurt nobody, and as high as 10 if you really want to support me like that and what I do. So when I uncheck the publish to subscriber feed, if I post a video and have it set to go members first, all of my channel members will get the video notification. And then once the video goes live, it won't appear in my subscriber feed because most of my subscribers aren't doing anything with my videos anyway. So it'll have a more likely of a chance to reach new viewers. And if I really also want to alert my more active subscribers, I can make a community post, and hopefully that can trigger some of my existing subscribers that may not be channel members, but they engage with my content. So that's basically what I've been doing. Now, on the Twitch side of things, I've been wanting to do more gaming related content because when I look at channels like Fightin' Cowboy, Renfail, Co-Carnage, even this guy named Wolfheart FPS, very good channel. I want to get back to playing games. I want to get back to making gaming content and streaming. So once my stream is done on Twitch, for those who may not be aware, that stream, well, once you activate your video on demand setting in the Twitch settings, because for whatever reason it's off by default. So if you don't turn that on, for instance, if you finish a Twitch stream, your live stream is gone forever. So when you activate the enable video on demand, Twitch will keep your stream for 7 days. It goes up to 14 if you're an affiliate like I am, or something. I think it goes a little higher if you are a partner, I think. But anyway, so once I have that, I can download the stream, or I can export that Twitch stream over to YouTube, where I would basically have the stream as an unlisted video. Now you might be like, well, why would you have it as an unlisted video? So the reason why a lot of the larger content creators they post their Twitch streams as unlisted, because they don't want to clutter their live subscriber feed. So for instance, if you are a YouTube subscriber to a channel, every single time a creator is sending over their live stream, it's going to appear in your sub feed, and some subscribers may find that a little bit annoying. So what content creators do is when they port their Twitch stream over to YouTube, it's an unlisted video, meaning you can still see it if you happen to go to that creator's channel. You just won't be alerted to it. So what they do is they will create a public playlist. This is why, for instance, if you go to Co-Carnage's channel, and I think even Wolfheart FPS and a few others, you'll notice if you go, now you may have to do some digging. You might have to go do some digging. But if you look at their playlists, I know a Co-Carnage is pretty easy to find. Co-Carnage will literally have past video on demand, and I think it's like over 1,000 fucking videos, and those are all of his live streams, like every single one of them that he's done. So if he did a live stream, which I'm sure he did, on Halo Campaign Evolved, that 3 or 4 hour stream would go in that playlist, but then he would also have another separate playlist specifically for Halo Campaign Evolved, where he ports the same stream in that playlist as well. Now, some created that. This is the thing I'm kind of debating on, is if somebody creates a 3 hour stream for any one of these games, Halo or whatever the fuck it is, some creators will just post the entire stream in the playlist that's specific to the game, whether it's Halo or the new Beasts of Reincarnation, Cyberpunk, whatever. Then you have other content creators, they will take that same 3 hour stream and they'll break it up into like maybe 30 to 40 minute mini videos, and it kind of becomes like this let's play type of playlist. So I'm kind of debating on which one I want to do, because I can tell you right now, trying to break those things up as well as try to get rid of some of the more boring parts of a live stream. It does take a lot of time. It does take a lot of editing. Like, for instance, when I did my Twitch stream of me playing Halo Campaign Evolved for the first time, there was a few times where I died to some really silly bullshit. Like, it was kind of embarrassing. Like, one time, I'll tell you, there was a part in that stage where you have to board that Covenant cruise ship that has the really cool music. When you're making your approach, I think it's nighttime. You have those gun turrets. They shoot those plasma bolts at you. Well, one time I was making my approach, and there was an enemy already in there that I didn't notice. And I'm trying to run around the thing, but I'm getting fucking shot up. And I even say, it's like, oh shit, I think I shouldn't have done that. I don't think I'm going to make it. And I ended up dying. I was like, fuck, I wanted to kind of cut that out of the video. But, you know, the amount of, because the initial video was about almost 2.5 hours. So it's like, even though I added Twitch markers, I had to kind of go back in because there were a few times I died. And in Halo Campaign Evolved, especially if you're a content creator, you'll know that, let's just say, if you're trying to limit the amount of times you die for the sake of just moving the video forward, in Halo Campaign Evolved, when you die, your characters automatically respawned. Whereas if you die in a game like Elden Ring or Sekiro or some of these other games, you have to select retry. So let's just say if you die and you're like, oh man, I fucking died, and and you're a little bit salty. Well, if you try to, let's say if you died 5 times to the same situation, well, what I would like to do is completely delete the first 5 tries that I died and just capture the time I succeeded in the playthrough. Well, in a game like Halo, for at least for me, when I died a few times, I end up having some dialogue I said, because I was a little bit annoyed and frustrated. So trying to find the part where I can cut that out, it's time consuming. Whereas I can die in like Elden Ring, I can bitch and complain, rant and rave, or if I died in Ninja Gaiden 4, did the same thing, and then when I'm ready to start the game again, I can hit retry. So now we're back at the checkpoint. I don't say nothing, so to the viewer, they may not be aware that I probably died 15 times already, but if you were to watch the live stream, you would see all of that. So that's kind of like what I'm deciding on how I want to approach that, but that's what I'm doing primarily on Twitch. So I'm still trying to get my way. And I know I don't have a lot, even though I have about 97 followers on Twitch right now, but a lot of people don't really watch my shit because I think a lot of times, just like how YouTube is for me, I have a lot of subscribers, but not a lot of people that's actually engaging with me. So I think over the course of time, it's almost like I'm building up a brand new audience of sorts. It's kind of like that. It's like I'm building a brand new audience on top of the existing one, if that makes sense. And it is kind of challenging because, this is what I love to do. I love to play my games. I love to talk about games. I like to talk about the industry. And I understand that maybe people aren't interested in that. Maybe all they want to see me do is get frustrated playing Tekken 8. Well, those days are done. At best, I might give Tekken 8 a chance for season 4, maybe. But for season 3, the rest of this year, that's it. So I understand that I might be posting content that people may not be interested in. That's fine. However, the problem when you're a content creator is if you have a ton of people on your subscriber base that are just not engaging, that basically kills whatever possibility you have of reaching people that might have interest in your channel. That's the thing that's frustrating. So I have to do what I have to do about that. And that's why I've been prioritizing Twitch at least from my gameplay standpoint. So, you know, like for instance, with the Beast of Reincarnation that you see right here, right? I think I have it sit on the screen, right? Yeah, so the Beast of Reincarnation, I'm likely going to play that game on Twitch probably sometime tomorrow. So now once I get done with that, then I'm going to do the, you know, I'll export it out to an unlisted, or I'll excuse me, I will export it as an unlisted stream, add it to a public playlist that I will title Video on Demand or Past Live Stream or something, and then I'll create a separate playlist for Beasts of Reincarnation specifically. That's basically the workflow I want to do, as well as create, like, you know, smaller, shorter form content for the YouTube shorts, the TikToks, and so on. That's what you got to do as a content creator. And because it's just me, I don't have a lot of money. This is why I really appreciate all my channel members. Even if it's just only at $2 a month, hey, that $2 definitely helps a lot, you know, because I'm not, you know, I'm not I'm not well set up like that. You know what I'm saying? I have a mid-level laptop that I would love to enhance, but I just don't have the money for it. You know what I'm saying? These things are expensive. But they're one of the things I would like to reinvest back into my channel is buying a more powerful laptop than what I currently have, just so that my stream quality can get better. But that's just, you know, sometime in the future. That's why if you go to my Twitch channel right now, you might see some streams where I'm doing a lot of testing. Like I think one of my streams was I literally state 720p, 60 frames per second. Those are my OBS settings. So that's what that is. If you go to my Twitch and you see that, that's what that is. I'm basically streaming for a period of time. I end the stream and I look at it back and see how the stream looks quality-wise and what I can do within my OBS settings to try to get the most out of my laptop. It hasn't been easy. So, you know, I've been going live quite a few times late last night, just trying to, you know, get the right balance of resolution and also frame rate. But it hasn't been easy. So, you know, but I did say I was going to live stream on Twitch every day for the month of August. So that is a goal. And technically, I did do that. So so hopefully, you know, over the course of time this will grow. You know, like I say, you know, my name is Red Related on this channel. Basically, what that ultimately means is that I speak on things that relates to me, and if they happen to relate to you, then maybe you should consider subscribing and following me over on my Twitch. So, I think that's worth a stream marker, actually. But yeah, that's really what it comes down to, man. You know, I love gaming. I love talking about the industry. I'm not so much into the fighting game community drama anymore. I think it's a waste of my time. And I think that's about it. So hopefully, you know, I made some sense to some of the people here. But I will also say that I'm still looking to figure out what I want to do schedule-wise. But I feel like if I have people that are following me over on Twitch, you'll know when I go live. You'll get the notification. It just depends on whether or not you can watch or not, based on maybe you're busy or have life stuff going on. But at the end of the day, even if you don't catch the live stream, you know, more than likely I will send the stuff over to YouTube after maybe a day or two, because it is a little bit of work. It does take time to export stuff, and if I really want to chop things up and make them into smaller videos, that's going to be me experimenting. I will be making more channel member content, since those are members that I have, at least for the time being, that are actually paying. And, you know, from like $2, I have a $2 membership, a $5, and a $10. So that helps immensely. So I will be doing more content on that front, and just kind of just doing what I can, since it's just me. I'm not, you know, I'm not a thousandaire, I'm not a millionaire. You know, I don't have a group of people doing shit for me. All the thumbnails is me, all of the titles. Sometimes I do use AI to try to get an idea of maybe some inspiration of titles. But the thumbnails, I don't know. Maybe I'll try an AI thumbnail one day, but I'm just not a fan of that. But it's a lot of work, you know what I'm saying? And not to mention the other shit I got going on in my personal life. So, you know, you just trying to make things, you try to make things happen as best as you can. So that's why I have very little patience, if any, for the fucking trolls and other no counts of society that wants to talk shit, but yet and still they couldn't walk, they couldn't walk 10 steps in my shoes. You know what I'm saying? So I at this point, I think little by little, I'm just kind of like I'm just getting to the point I'm just going to start banning people, and I have already. Like I'm just like, it's like whatever. Like dealing with the trolls, you know, for a bit, it helps with the video algorithm, but after a while, when shit gets mad disrespectful and just gets like it's going nowhere. This is why I just like fuck it, I just hide them from my channel, so they'll be able to still catch my streams or whatever. But if they comment, they'll be in their own pocket reality. So their comments will never be viewed by anybody. So that's basically what I've been doing. So I guess you can call that a shadow ban or whatever. But hey, you know, people, you know, that's what they want to do. They want to fuck around and find out. They'll find out. That's how I look at it. You know, I have far too much stress. I have far too many things that I want to accomplish. There's sponsorship deals, business deals I would like to do. My timeline of doing this in 2026, it didn't happen for me. My channel basically stagnated, you know, largely probably because I stopped playing Tekken 8. And that's fine because I didn't want to play a game I hated. So now I'm just going a different route. So yeah, there's a lot of issues I'm trying to solve, but I'm doing the best I can. I don't have all the answers, but I do my best in researching. It's just me. So that's why I tell people, like, look, call it e-begging or whatever the fuck it is. Hey, you know what? I got memberships. It does help. You know, sometimes it helps me pay a bill. It helps me keep the fucking the electric bill or the fucking cable bill. Maybe I can pick up a new game, or you know, I was able to get my capture card, which is why I'm able to do what I'm doing right now, because before I was using the Xbox remote feature. So there's a lot of things that I'm trying to do. So, you know, it's not easy, but I'm trying. And when it comes to my knowledge of the video game industry, there are very few that can rival me in this space. However, you know, when you have well over 1,500 subscribers on your YouTube channel that literally don't do anything, they don't view, they don't comment, they don't like, they don't share your video. Like I said, when you post a video to YouTube, YouTube is carrying out background tests on your already existing subscribers. So if they're seeing a channel that has, in my case, over 2,200 subs, and the vast majority of them are not clicking your video, they're not doing anything, then yeah, YouTube is not going to push my content. I'm not, it's more difficult for me to reach brand new people, so that maybe I could get newer channel members that may want to support what I do and you know, help me move forward. I might get brand new subscribers. I might even get a few new Twitch followers. But it's hard to do that if YouTube is not pushing my content, because I have a bunch of dead weight subscribers that are just either they're not on YouTube anymore, but they're just still on my subscriber feed. I don't know. Like, I can literally make a community post and I'd be lucky if I have 10 likes on it, but I have 2,200 subscribers. Like,
Make that make sense. That doesn't even make any sense at all. So the people that do like my shit, the people that do show up in my live streams that are not dicks about it and not assholes and not trolls like the legitimate people I have, I can already see that I have a very tiny portion of subs on YouTube that actually mess with me. And so now the only other thing I could do is start a brand new channel. But bro, it took me 9 months to get this channel monetized, which by many accounts is actually quite fast. A lot of people, they spend years on YouTube and they're still not monetized. Like, I bust my fucking ass to get YouTube monetized and to become a Twitch affiliate. I bust my ass. So the idea of starting a brand new channel and starting from scratch, that does not instill a lot of happiness for me. So I'm just trying to, I feel like my channel is stuck in the mud. That's what it feels. It feels like it's stuck in the mud, and it's going to take a lot of effort to get it out. I think that's the best way to really put it. And so whenever I get, maybe I might get one new subscriber, maybe a Twitch follower. The way I look at it, Rome wasn't built in a day. Maybe after a period of time, I can go back to, like, checking that box of publish the subscriber feed. Maybe I can go back to that once I accumulate more subscribers that will be, engaging with what I put out, which is gaming industry shit, talking about the agendas of gaming, playing video games. You know what I'm saying? If you're not into any of those three things, if that doesn't interest you, then maybe you should unsubscribe from me, because that's what my channel is about. Sure, I could talk about personal fitness because I'm also a certified personal trainer, but I don't know where that would fit in my channel. I don't know. Sure, I love combat sports. I train as a boxer. Like, that's how I train. I train as a boxer. Am I going to talk about my thoughts on what happened during SummerSlam because I'm a big pro wrestling fan? There's a lot of other shit that I love outside of gaming, but it's a matter of where do I put that in my channel? Sure, I could probably make a separate playlist or whatever. So, but I think for right now, the priority is the gaming, the streaming on Twitch, posting the content here on YouTube, and just talking about the various agendas that's going on in our industry. That's basically what my channel is about. And hopefully, if that relates to you, then you'll fucking subscribe. You'll maybe even bless me with a channel membership and hit me up over on Twitch as well. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, that's all I got to say about that, because I'm tired. I need to get some food. It's a damn near, what is it? 11:30 basically. So I'm out of here, and I hope the rest of you guys enjoy the rest of your night. I appreciate those who lurked. I appreciate those who commented. And I guess the next thing I'll do is I'll be over on my Twitch, and likely tomorrow I will be playing this game right here, the Beasts of whatever. More than likely I'll also play Halo. I might start Halo again fresh. I might. Mistfall, I'm not too sure about this one. I'm not too sure about this one, but definitely I do aim to play Halo and Beasts of Reincarnation. Also, just know this is my absolute favorite game right here. I'll be honest with you. As you can see, I got 94 fucking hours, or really 95 hours in this game. It's a true Shinobi experience, and I do play this game very, very well. I think if you appreciate stealth, solid combat, I think you would actually enjoy watching me play this game. And I do have some real godlike looking YouTube shorts I need to put out. So yeah, so just to kind of put that out there. Also, in the very near future, Dragon's Dogma, believe me, as you see, I have about 8 minutes playtime on this, but I did play the original Dragon's Dogma to a degree, not much, but enough to know that I really enjoyed the game. I do know that they have Dragon's Dogma 2 Dark Arisen. If I'm not mistaken, when does that game come out? Let me see. Let me see. Game's coming soon. It should be here, right? Dark Arisen. Oh, I think I passed it. Wait. Uh, oh, it's not featured here. Okay, that's wild. All right, let me see. Dragons. Dogma. Two. Here we go. So this right here, I want to get this entire thing. So this honestly is my next game that I'm really interested in getting that is not a part of Game Pass. Of course you got the game like Blood of the Dawn Walker, Control Resonant. Those games come out actually all in September. But this game, I believe this. Oh wait, did it come out already? Oh, okay. I think I see. What it is that the game is out. The game is out, but the expansion doesn't come out until I think October 8th. Yeah. So I definitely want to have this game definitely before October 8th. This game does look very well, does look good. And I think they have an update for it sometime in August, actually. That's going to also change things dramatically. So this is a game I'm definitely interested in. So, hopefully I'll be able to pick that up. The Dark Arisen Dragon's Dogma 2. But then, of course, in the future, just to kind of go over this, we just had it just now. Mortal Shell 2. I've heard of it. I've seen it. Looks interesting, but definitely where is it? Blood of the Dawn Walker. This is a must-have game for me. I have to pick this up. Onimusha. That in fact that Onimusha comes out a day after because this comes out September 3rd. Onimusha comes out September 4th. And then the next September game for me is Control Resonant, and this comes out September 24th. So September is going to be one hell of a month for me. Then of course you got Gears of War, but that's going to be on Game Pass for me. Let me see. Honestly, I'll be honest. If I had the money for it, and if I were able to gain the other games, I would buy Gears of War just to support the developer because we understand that they're trying to make Gears of War an exclusive, and I think buying the game as opposed to just playing it on Game Pass would go a long way. But it depends on what my money situation is looking like. Of course, you got this game. This is in October. Castlevania Belmont's Curse. I'm definitely looking forward to that. This one right here, for those who may not be aware, Final Fantasy Resonance. This is looking pretty interesting as well. Like I love this kind of graphical detail. This style reminds me of my, growing up as a kid. Kind of like Octopath Traveler type. So this game does look very, very impressive. So I'm very much interested in that. So that comes out October 22nd. Modern Warfare 4, that's one of those games, if I have everything I want and I got money left over, I might invest. Grand Theft Auto 6, I don't have any real direct interest in it, but if I can get it, I probably would. Attack on Titan 3, I have no interest. Stranger Than Heaven, that's going to be on Game Pass. I will be playing that. And Fable, that's next year, and Tomb Raider next year as well, and Persona. So yeah, these games are next year. So that's basically what's what. So just to kind of put that out there. And so yeah. So I think that's all I have right now. So with that being said, let me get up out of here. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. I hope you guys enjoy the stream. Again, I didn't mean to. My intention is never to disrespect anybody per se, unless you're going out of your way to troll and disrespect me. However, I am a very definitive person. I pull no punches. I'm here to give the facts. I'm here to be honest with people. And you know, so sometimes I usually say I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm some people's shot of whiskey. So, you know, because you're not gonna be everybody's favorite. And I accept that. You know, I have a very small core group of my subscriber base. Two of them just left messages, which I appreciate just now in the chat. But again, you know, believe me, I wish I had far more that were similar to those two gentlemen, along with shouting out Hyper Stark. He's also very active, and a couple other people. You know, maybe over time, things will get better, more expansive. Hopefully next year I might be able to try to go after some sponsorships. Even I've been looking up videos on the best practices for that, even though I have my share of marketing and PR experience. But when it comes to doing these types of deals as a YouTuber, streamer, there are certain things I can benefit from knowing. And so I've been learning more and more about that. So when I do pull the trigger and start going after different companies and businesses, you know, I have more information at that time than I will have now. That's why I'm not rushing it. But of course, when you do go after these particular deals, a lot of companies, not everyone, they are looking to see one, what's your follower count, how many subscribers you have, what type of chat activity you have, things of that nature, you know. So it's not always, oh, you know, you have to have like 10,000 subscribers to do anything. No, it's not necessarily, but it does help. But there are other little factors that I'm aware of, but there are likely some things that I am not. So that's why I'm not rushing to go after those particular business ventures just yet, because I need to kind of kickstart my YouTube again. Because like I said, I feel like my YouTube is just stuck in the mud right now because I have a lot of subscribers that, you know, no disrespect to them, but they're just not. It's almost like they're hanging. They're like an anchor. It's like putting an anchor, you know, when you're at sea. It's just going to drag you down. It's going to slow you up. And so that's why me trying to do the measures that I'm looking to employ, I'm hoping that over time I will get more people that's more active in my channel, so that it can potentially override those that are not active. So that's the goal. But anyway, good night to you guys, Saint Mike, Kazama, all you guys, and I guess that's about it.